I thought it was morning. It feels like morning.
It still does, yeah. It still feels early. But yeah, it's been a good morning so far. Got up and had a little swim and got in the steam room.
You've had a swim?
First time I've ever done that in this hotel.
I bet you didn't go in the sea, did you?
Times. No. A nice warm pool, just a floor below us.
Ah, of course, yeah.
And there's a steam room and a jacuzzi in there as well, which is quite pleasant. A load of the players were in there about 10 o'clock.
Until you got in there and then they all vacated.
Yeah. It was quite nice to have a chat with the lads in a relaxed environment.
There's better ways you could have put that, but I don't fancy having that as my lasting memory or thoughts in my mind. You sat in a jacuzzi with fellow pool players and... Well, anyway, let's
At least we were all donning shorts. I was just saying to somebody in there yesterday, Tony, that
you need to let it go now, Nick.
I was in Austria a few weeks ago, and I went into
Lederhosen.
Yeah, went into a spa, and I walked through the door and then back straight out again because there was a lady in there who was in the full naked. And I was just like, "What on earth's going on? Am I in the wrong place?" So I backed out, shut the door, and went and hid somewhere else until she left. I was like, just felt totally awkward.
I'm sure she felt the same.
I know.
What a bizarre story to come out with this time of day.
I know.
Anyway, Declan Brennan at the table. It's been very well. Both of these players, I was going to say, he's been very impressive, but so has Scott Gillespie. He took care of Chris Melling yesterday, did Scott?
I was just looking down through the drawer a minute ago and struggling to pick a winner. There's so many players now who could do the business from here, and I mean Dempsey's the bookie's favourite, and the way he played yesterday, you know, who'd put it past him lifting the trophy. But Scott Gillespie, he was sublime yesterday as well. Declan Brennan's playing well. I mean, just look down through the field. Ronan's obviously just won, and he's got Cole Bedford next, and that's going to be a tough game for both. Really, really tough to pick a winner from them now. Tom going out early doors really did open the draw for everyone. Because Phil Harrison is out. Waddingham's still there as well. Seifert Simmons. Dylan Leary's playing well, albeit he's 6-5 down at the moment, but he's another deep run from him. So a lot of players have really taken to this new table. Carl Morris is another. Saw him on Wednesday evening, and I said to him then that I felt this table would. Oh wow, Decky, goodness me. Well, an early error.
Just same with Mark actually when you mentioned Carl Morris in the last match. I said he last won the world title in 1998. But I said someone who will benefit with these tables, with his cue action and use of these type of tables with a tight pocket is Carl Morris.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I looked at how he's he'd just gone 5-4 up when I walked back in here out in the arena. So I don't know if there's any change to that scoreline.
No, it's still 5-4, but yeah, I mean, I said to him on Wednesday when he was having a knock around, I said, I really think these tables are going to suit you, Carl, because of the way you play, because you keep it so simple. The way your cue action, you never hit anything hard. The cue ball's under control. You know, you're a very accurate potter, clever player. I just had a feeling about him this weekend having a deep run, and here he is.
Yeah, I agree.
On the precipice. I mean, he's a couple of frames away from.
Well, he's playing Kyle Cup, and Kyle's playing very, very well.
Yeah. I think this is one of the most open fields we've had for a very long time.
Well, it lent itself to that with Tom Cousins going out at the first attempt, Chris Melling going second round, also Jordan Shepherd going out early doors, you know.
Yeah.
Ironically, all three have come back from the US from last week in Denver. There's Scott Gillespie at the table, and his game has really come up in the last couple of months. We've seen it rise a little bit and then up a bit more, then landing the European Open in fine style as well, might I say. And he's just full of confidence at this moment in time. Is Scott.
He looked great yesterday when we watched him play last night. He really did look good.
Looks unflustered as well, you know. Just looks confident. And
the way I described it to Mark when we were on comms yesterday is, you know, when Scott was dominating about 5 years ago, just pre-COVID, he just bullied every field. Just looked in complete command, complete control of the table. And then for the last couple of years, he's won a couple of events, but he's been a shadow of his previous self. But this weekend, you know, he's off the back of the win of the Europeans.
I mean, that European Open win, you know, myself and Mark were on comms there as well as J-Mo. He was obviously up there, and it just, he was the best player, you know. Obviously, he won the tournament, but it's not always, you know, the standout player wins the tournament, but he really was. It just, every match.
He just looks back in command of the table. Doesn't look like missing. I think he missed one ball yesterday in his entire match.
So it sounded like you pretty easily picked out a winner.
Well,
but yeah. No, I get it.
But then I saw Scott, and you know, I mean, he just looks. Look at the way he's breaking. Goodness me.
That's a right break, that is.
How do you get this man off the table at the moment?
Well, he's absolutely demolished this break. There's no doubt it's going to be reds. Just picking his route. Going to go up, get rid of that one at the top early doors. Perfect.
There's just nothing tough to go for here. It's just a question of stop shots, really. Nothing much to do with the cue ball.
Well, we saw Ronan McCarthy with a very similar finish, actually easier than this, and he managed to fall over when you just and he'd be at the point of the match. McCarthy wasn't missing anything, and it suddenly, inexplicably, he just missed a ridiculous ball straight into a middle bag. But yeah, I mean they happen once in a blue moon, and you'd have your kitchen sink on the man from Scotland finishing this frame off.
So Dylan Murray falls by the wayside. Aaron Davis beats him. Cole Bedford, we know, is already 3, beat Rob Warren 7-4. Cole Bedford using the cut break this weekend is being really effective for him. Mark Fleming, Dom Cooney tied up at 4 each. Carl Morris is 5-4 still over Carl Cope. That score remains the same.
Must be having a bit of a tactical slog there, because I watched Carl take out a finish to go 5-4 when I was just they were doing the interview with Ronan, and then we knew this is about to start, so I've come into the commentary box. So that was quite a while ago, considering we're nearly at the end of frame 2 of this.
This is a shot that could go wrong. He needs to get back to the left-hand side of the table, and that yellow is going to look like a beach ball.
What did I say about unmissable finishes?
Yeah, yeah. It was all about the previous shot. It's just left the wrong angle.
That's a brilliant shot.
Amazing.
That is the control of that. You know, it looks easy, but it was just absolute pinpoint.
I mean, that's so easy just to get a little bit too much banana on the ball, and it ends
all
up
of it
hitting the yellow. Don't get enough side on it. Hits it on the way back down. Navigated that to absolute perfection.
Yep, couldn't play it any better.
The Scotsman is in full flow.
The Flying Scotsman.
It's amazing to see. I love watching Goobsy when he's flowing. It's just so good to watch. Declan's not done too much wrong so far. Just that one little kiss that's landed him in behind that.
Well, he was a bit unlucky, you know. So it was the shot before when he left himself such a thin cut on the red, and he made the pot, and it was just one of those things. It's, you know, he's not missed anything.
He's not going to like what he sees here, though.
No, he's not.
There's problems. I mean, there's 3 obvious areas of the table here where there's 2 balls locked against each other. I think the 2 in the middle of the table, they both pot to bottom left, the yellow and the red. But it's the ones at the top of the table and bottom of the table that need developing. Doesn't have, well, I mean, he has a yellow that he can use in the middle of the table to open with, but he's going to elect to go reds. You can understand why. He can come down. Decky. Loose. Not sure what he was going for there. I don't know if he was trying to go cushion and try and cannon this ball at the bottom of the table, but even if he, I mean, was he looking for a fuller contact on the 8? Hard to say, because the pace he played it at and the line he played it at didn't look like he was coming to try and develop this ball. He's tried the loss of turn there.
Yeah. Scott just seeing if that yellow passes the red into the bottom left. Obviously problem up at the top left.
Yeah, I was wondering if he could play this yellow to bottom right and get straight up to that top corner, but I think the yellow's probably just in the way of it.
I think he'd possibly take out the 2 yellows at the bottom of the table, and then the one that's right central, use that to go into red and yellow. I mean, you can go straight into the yellow, knock the red in the same shot, and obviously that's as good as kicking it. Yeah. Probably even better than kicking out. So if you kick it out, you are running the risk it could drop behind, I don't know, it could knock the black safe or go behind that red at the top.
He did have the line, look. If he hits that harder, he's got the line straight into that yellow at the top of the table.
Well, if that yellow goes next to the red there, he's going to have to take that now. He's plumb on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can also choose his angle now to get into that one at the top.
Yeah. Roll forward a couple of inches and leave the angle to come up. I agree with you. A full ball contact, you'd think that that's a dead set plan, but there is just about an inch between the 2 balls, so.
He has a bit of angle. See, the thing is, do you play to kick the yellow back down towards the middle? Because you do that, you're guaranteed to be on the other yellow into the centre.
Yeah, I think you have to, because it could, if you go into it full ball.
He's paid to get on it. Well,
that surprises me.
It did surprise me as well.
It's a big target.
Yeah, I think he probably feels that he's queuing that well. He can have the cue ball on at 6pence.
Yeah, but surely this was the only way it could go wrong. I mean, if you cannon it, you'd be very unlucky to. You should say it's almost guaranteed to be on the one.
The red will come back and hit it again. Yeah, he's missed it. Yeah, for me, the wrong approach there. He obviously had that set in his mind from the outset. At the start of going that finish, he's in his mind he's just going to play, always going to play to get on that ball.
Yeah. That
wasn't the decision made there and then. That was made a few shots ago. Well, Decky.
Wow.
All gone wrong there.
Wow.
Missed the pot by a mile.
Yeah.
And gone in off as well. So, ball in hand for Goobsy.
I mean, I know they're tight pockets, but
no,
it's not even in the right postcode.
No, yeah,
you can see what he thinks of it.
Good old Decky.
Yeah, Goobs won't need to be asked twice.
Just pop this in and screw the cue ball back a little bit to come to left hand side of those 2 reds. Well, he's not going to run the risk of just playing the plain cut and getting a white past them. And that's the way. Tap in black. And this is going to be 3-0 to Scott Gillespie as he strolls back to his chair with another successful visit to the table.
the car behind her took the worst of the brunt, but pushed it into her car, which jarred her and has given her a bad back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another look at Scott's break. Not as powerful as his opening one. And also dry. So Declan Brennan at the table. Well, he needs this frame, Declan, just purely to get his head up after the ball he missed in the last frame.
Yeah, no doubt. And they'd be happy that it's a fairly simple clearance too. Needs to play around.
There he is, look.
The yellow and the red.
Ronan McCarthy we just saw there talking to Hogan.
Side.
He's not got there.
Oh, he's not.
Oh, you can just probably see the thin edge of this.
But that's a howler. I mean,
well, what he did is he landed 2 shots. Do you know what I'd have done? 2 shots ago, I wouldn't have took that one in the middle because he had a perfect angle on that red that was near the corner to drop it in play with running the side, whereas he landed a bit straighter there and had to punch it round the 2 cushions, which was a harder shot, especially to judge the weight.
He's fortunate to still be on it, and that was a really nice, well judged cannon.
Yeah, I think if that one had not gone, I think we could have, his head would have probably gone completely, because
just not settled though, is he?
No.
Even that shot there, that the one to get around the yellow and the red. I was with you. I wouldn't have wanted to leave that until last, but you couldn't really see it going wrong. And the cue ball straight in. Well, that's not going to lighten the mood. Is that yellow going to come and help him at all? Well, just.
I don't know. I think the red might go.
It's very tight. Very tight. If it goes, then this is about as plain sailing as it gets. If it doesn't, then he's just got to.
I think it goes.
Move it. It's not a difficult ball to move anyway, but with the traffic he's got around it. But yeah, if it goes, this is about as ABC as it gets. It's just a little practice session, isn't it?
Well, it's for me. I believe that goes. I think it's the red next to the black.
Yeah, I get that.
Because you need the correct angle. Yeah. If you're leaving it till last, and don't forget, to get on it, you're going to probably play yourself dead straight on it on the bottom rail.
It's not over the moon with that shot. I think he's just fallen half a roll short of where he wanted. Wanted this to be a little bit straighter so he could just run through to the middle of the table and have a choice. But now he's having to come down a little reroute.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think that ball must go. I think you're right, it must go because
it goes.
Yeah.
You'll never let me forget it if it doesn't go.
We'll find out after the shot. Yeah. And now he can just drop down into the ball, below the 8 ball. He's got the perfect angle just to top through.
I still think it's tricky. He's not
If he can
over enamoured with it all.
If he can come down cushion first and just run into the back of the 8 ball, he'd have the perfect angle to then pot that red and come out for the other one. Almost. He's decided to leave it till last.
Told you it went.
Easily.
I think he's got the slightest of angles on this ball in the middle. So in an ideal world, he wants to pop this cue ball not right behind the red, just a tiny, tiny angle.
I thought you had the angle on the previous shot, Tony. Maybe I was just...
Yeah, but I think he was thinking that
perfect.
He wanted this as his last ball.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be playing this one and then to get to another one to come back down for this black. But
he's left it as good as he possibly could. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a very good finish, even though it looked easy. But the last couple of balls there, he's played them very well as Scott.
And this all from Declan Brennan's opening shot, his break, finding the pocket with the cue ball.
Very good break from Gillespie. Cue ball straight as an arrow coming back towards that top cushion. It's made a ball. And things are starting to look a little bit bleak for Declan Brennan. Scott Gillespie looks a man determined to be in that quarter-final lineup.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't think it's any secret because Scott's posted quite significantly on Facebook recently about it. But obviously, he lost his father recently, and that will give him a steely determination as well. He was great mates with his dad, and I know he misses him deeply. It was a massive shock, and obviously everyone at Ultimate Pool, our condolences go out to Scott. I think it's going to give him a determination this week that that he's doing this for his dad.
It's those two reds at the top there. The one that's on the bolt line is the one really, but and the one next to it as well is not easy to get on. That's where the problems lie for Scott Gillespie. If he gets through them, he's also got a black on the cushion nearly. I'd probably choose to play that as a double rather than try and take it on down the rail. I mean, if you try and get in that gap, I mean, that we're talking has to be absolutely on a sixpence to get into there. Well, this red obviously passes this yellow into that corner. It absolutely does. When I was looking at those, I didn't think that passed.
The 8 ball being on the cushion.
I'd try and get on it as a cross double back in the middle one.
Yeah.
Because it's a long, long way away from that corner bag.
Yeah. Yeah, in the last event we'd have been saying just land on it, pockets play big, but it's a very, very just okay, I feel.
Well, if he's not, he's going to have to play a plant.
I think he could just get through. And he's got a pretty decent angle there. And if he can get through to it, he needs to leave the red to... Oh, he's looking at the plant, so he can't get through. This could easily go wrong now. Or does it?
And it has gone wrong.
Scott Gillespie. Declan throws himself out of his chair.
Yeah.
Leapt like a salmon. It's a chance he wouldn't have expected.
No, he's staring 5-1 down the barrel.
A little bit clumsy there from Gillespie, you've got to say. Shouldn't have been anywhere near that ball.
Extension call.
Decky just checking. Nicely done.
Just a little bit betwixt and between there.
Well, he wants to get down for that yellow that's at the bottom now. Get rid of that one and have them 3 at the top to finish off with. Well, it looks like he's going to leave it for last.
Yeah.
Which tells me if he's leaving that for last, he has also made his mind up that he's going to play the cross double.
Play the double, yeah. Still requires the cue ball to be right here.
Yeah, he's okay. Pops this one in the middle next then.
Just needs to make sure he leaves the right angle on the one to the right centre to be able to come down. So he needs to be further right than he is now. Just leave the angle to make sure he can get below down this end of the table. That's better angle.
Yep. Yep, he's okay there. 2 choices. You can screw down the table, or you could play it off the side rail with side. I think he'll screw. And that is bang on. If you want to put it anywhere with your hand, this is where you put it pretty much. Wants to roll through about 1 ball's width of that yellow. Wow, he's playing it. Do you know what? I prefer to play him when I'm past the black, if you know what I mean. Play him that way.
Yeah.
I think past the black is it, but that's probably preference, but I think they're easier. I think this is a little bit trickier.
Slightly easier to judge.
Scared a bit.
I'm with you, yeah. Oh, wow. Goodness me. What have we seen there? You felt that was a fairly unmissable double.
Well, they're never unmissable, obviously, but
No,
I feel, and this is maybe it's just my preference, but I feel if you're past the ball, that it's just a plain middle of the white roll.
Yeah.
I think you've got to make that shot more, if you know what I mean. It's hard to describe, I suppose, but well, Scott Gillespie has been let off the hook in such a pivotal part of the match as well. You know, to get back to 4-2, you're hanging on a little bit, but you're still there. But 5-1, that is a real kick in the teeth there for Declan Brennan.
Yeah, that's a massive game changer.
The alarm bells are ringing. He's 5-1 down on a race to 7. And where's that cue ball going? And he's gone in off again. And just look at the split. Well, what a break. Well, we're going to find out what's happening with the Carl Morris match as Nick has returned safely. I'm glad you got here all right.
I know. I needed a map to
Do you have any news?
It's still 5-4.
Well, how is that still 5-4?
But Kyle was at the table just potting the 8 ball to take it to 5 each. So that's been an absolute monster of a frame.
Wow. Well, in your absence, Declan Brennan's been up and broken, gone in off.
Oof.
And just look at that split.
Doesn't get any better for him, does it?
No. Judge by the way that Declan slumped in his seat. I think he's resigned the fact that he could be going 6-1 down now. It's the man from north of the border in Bonnie, Scotland. He's taking centre stage as he plots his route round these yellows and a path to get on the hill in this last 16 encounter.
So what we know so far for the lineup for the quarterfinals, the winner of Dom Cooney and Mark Fleming will play the winner of Carl Cope and Carl Morris. 6-5 to Dom Cooney, 5 each in the second game. Ronan McCarthy will play Cole Bedford. The winner of this game will play Aaron Davis, and Stevie Dempsey will play the winner of Craig Waddingham and Simon Fitzsimmons. So we've got a great lineup for the quarterfinal, whatever happens. The match coming up after this one is indeed that match I just mentioned, Craig Waddingham against Simon Fitzsimmons. Don't go anywhere because that should be an absolute firecracker of a game.
I wonder now if looking at this is Scott Gillespie's now considering potting his yellow and just kicking that black off that rail slightly.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him.
But he's got a perfect angle to do it.
Yeah.
Just screw the cue ball across.
Careful.
Brilliant shot. It's a brilliant shot.
It is brilliant. It's a risk.
This man can do no wrong at the moment.
There's some risk involved in that shot. If it's not your day, Gets a little flick on the red and goes in off, but he judged the pace to absolute perfection.
Yeah.
That was a top shot. There's so much that could have gone wrong with that. It either goes behind the red or it kicks into the pocket. That was fabulous.
It's going to be Gillespie's break next as well, so...
Well,
dry break.
yeah.
So Declan has 21 minutes to reel off 6 frames. All in a row.
Sounds easy enough.
Easy. I used to do that in my sleep. In fact, that's the only place it would happen. It would be a dream. But well, it's a nice pot. I mean, you know, plunked it along that rail nicely, but
He was trying to get back into the into the yellow on the side and hit the reds instead. And I mean, he's got another yellow. He can keep going, but he's hampered. And that yellow remains a problem on the left-hand side. The problem is the yellow on the left now. Nothing links to it, and it's guarded. I mean, you can land. He's looking now. You can land the gap, but you can leave it till last to land the gap. But it's not a nice place to be, relying on that. Luckily, the yellow that's in the middle of the table does link up to it pretty well. So if he can land on that straight, he's pretty much guaranteed to find the gap. That's what he's going to be looking at now. Doesn't want to be too close to the cushion.
when he's the angle, didn't he, off the yellow at the top, so... Yeah. He doesn't want to land short of this because...
If he's straight, he's perfect, isn't he?
Yeah.
Even overhit it. Like you say, absolutely nothing for short.
That's okay.
Yeah,
slight angle.
Yeah. He's shaking his head, but I think he's just okay. He can. It's just slightly the wrong angle, so he's put a load of side on it. Oh, he needs a favourable kiss, and he got one.
With a spin. See, by putting that right hand side on, the spin has rubbed it off the red and screwing into this.
I don't know.
Lovely shot.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It was simple enough, but
what a good finish. You're 6-1 down.
Yeah,
you're pulling out that, but
I think the 8 went into the middle anyway. Didn't need the contact, but he judged it really well. I mean, who cares? It was a great shot. So
I think it's more of a finicky shot because you've got to play with a little bit of left hand side, that rolly down the rail sort of shot, and you have to play it gently. I think you'd rather play a more powerful shot.
Yeah.
Your cue action's a lot truer with it as well.
Previous to that, Barker, convincing performance 7-4. I mean, if he goes on to win this one, 7-3, 7-4, he's only dropped 10 frames so far. Shows a lot of control. He's not there yet. He still needs to get that last frame. They always say it's the hardest one to win. Declan still fighting. He won't give it. That's for sure. He'll make Gillespie work for it. Just has to play a shot here.
Well, he has an angle, so he can go into this red and yellow. He's got to be careful how he contacts it though. If he hits the yellow thin, then he'll end up pushing the cue ball behind the red, and yellow will be in no man's land. So he wants to rub half into the red, but pushing the yellow. It's a funny one. He's got a shot. So I think he's settled for that because he has a shot into the middle. Just looking at, well,
it's just going to be coming back, isn't it? I mean, he needs to now come back.
Yeah, it must have been thin. It must have been a thinner cut than it looked. Obviously, if it was, then the cue ball's obviously sailing beyond the 2 reds at the top of the table, so he's had to reroute. But the yellow is now open and available. It will go into that top left-hand corner, so the balls are there available for Declan Brennan. Just drag another one back.
Needs to mind his work though. That's no good. That's too big an angle. He was looking to be straighter on the one to middle so he could come over to the right hand side of the table, but this is thin and he can no longer get over to the right side, so he's probably going to have to take this ball to the right corner now. You don't want to be leaving that ball at the top of the table till last, but you might be forced to.
We can play off 2 rails here.
Yeah, twice across. Don't think that's any good.
Always, he just knocked it so it guts down the rail.
It's wafer thin.
Yeah. Well,
Wafer thin.
he's still got. He's on the other yellow. He can smash that in and come back. You know, we're talking like high-end shots, but at least he has a shot. It could have been far worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, come on, that's ridiculous.
Oh,
That is absolutely ridiculous. That's a beautiful
it was
piece
a
of
fantastic shot.
Stunning piece of cueing from Declan Brennan.
Still got to get this cue ball out of this gap as well. So this is going to have to be hit with a bit of pace. Brilliant.
Oh, if he gets this 8 ball, this will be a
nice tap in black.
fantastic, yeah, fantastic.
Cueing over the whole jaw of the pocket. Well, Declan Brennan at his very, very best there.
What a 3-ball clearance that was from Declan Brennan. That's as good a quality as you will see anywhere. You want to get this done. Doesn't want Deck coming back to the table anymore. Because if something goes wrong here, and it has, if something goes wrong here, the next time he comes back to the table, it
Look
could
at
be
the reds.
6-5.
Takes the red that's over the bag first and frees up the black.
How quickly this game changes.
It's ridiculous.
As I say, it could be.
Well, it's gone that quick. I forgot who was breaking.
Could be 6-5 the next time he comes back to the table. And the pressure will really be on.
Taking a long ball first. Brave. But it's in. I'd have took the one over the bag just because I'm a chicken that way and bumped that other one out. But he's took the tougher part first. But having said that, the way he cued the last 3 balls with the last frame, then, I mean, wow.
That one from the top position.
Obscene shot, and the black was good as well. I mean,
just fantastic. Suddenly, that gear that I mentioned that he was struggling to find,
he's found it.
He's found it, and probably one above.
Well, he is one of the best players in the world, there's no question. Declan Brennan in full flow. You know, it's a sight to behold.
He's got the cruise controller on at the moment.
Perfect angle here, bounces in the corner, gets on the red next to that yellow. And we're looking at 6-4, and it will definitely be Declan Brennan's break next. Nice little bit of side on that just to bring the cue ball back straight.
Up to pace as well.
I think he has to, really. You know, down to the last 15 minutes. He doesn't want to be running about. If he can get back into this match, he wants to get back in as soon as possible. Once you're within 2 of somebody, if he can break and finish, my word. And Scott Gillespie's done nothing wrong. Well, say he's done nothing wrong. He's had a dry break and he's got an offer break. But we weren't allowed to remove the ties either. That was at Reading. Was it Reading? The Bracknell Hilton. I'll tell you, the Bracknell near Reading. Yeah. Never forgot that. That was hideous.
I never minded being in a pool hall where there was, loads of tables going, loads of people in there, and it was warm. I just felt warmer and sort of looser.
Look at that break.
Incredible.
This could be one of the most stunning comebacks I've seen.
Turn the match on its head.
Well, let's not forget, he was missing some bizarre shots early doors, not at the races at all, and it's like there was an imposter inside Declan Brennan's body, and he's exercised it, and all of a sudden, it's like, will the real Declan Brennan please stand up? And he is now cooking on gas.
Yeah, he's got rid of the poltergeist. Bottom left next. If he'd have finished dead straight on the yellow to middle, he would have taken that. But he's finished dead straight on this. I can just screw straight back. Of course, that's under.
A little bit short there, yeah.
now he's probably going to have to navigate the red at the top of the table. He's going to have to play this with the
right-hand side.
running side, yeah, right-hand side. So you're going to see it go to the left of that red, and then kick across to the right-hand side of the table. So he's going to come around it,
just like that.
Lovely.
Well, slightly went out of position, but he's got himself back, and he's on this 8-ball. This for 6-5, and in it goes. And Declan Brennan has come from 6-1 down to within 1 frame of Scott Gillespie.
Declan could easily come and take 2 frames and win 7 frames to 6. Has to make a ball here. Massive pressure. And he does. What a break. He's creamed that cue ball.
Red and yellow top left. Declan will be relieved to see something at least has to be moved.
Look at the cue ball
straight back
up the middle of the table.
Yep. And that's the mistake he made in a couple of frames ago, is he pulled it back towards that corner bag, and like you say, it was kicked in the cue ball, but it's about 3 balls chasing up the table. You kind of know as they're going up behind the cue ball that something's going to bang that cue ball into the pocket, and it did. But this time,
no,
he's at the table.
No particularly easy openers on yellows either.
No, like I say, Declan Brennan will be very relieved, because when he saw that break at first, I bet he's thinking, oh no, don't be easy. Don't be tap-ins, please.
The only opening he's got really is the one to top left. You'd like to leave that ball there, because that's not a bad ball. If you land the right angle, you could leave that to kick to kick the other yellow out.
He has no starting ball. This is the thing. This is open table.
Wow. That doesn't want Declan to be able to take yellows. But can
he can cut that back that's
first?
near the black. It's very thin, but it cuts.
Or even cushion first for the one over the top right.
Ooh, I think it cuts because he's bumps this other yellow out.
Yeah, it was a bit clumsy to leave this cut. Oh,
he's missed it.
That. No, he hasn't.
Oh,
he's got a 2-for-1 deal.
He has. Buy one, get one free. Well,
he played both of our shots, Tony.
He did.
He cut it in and played the other one off the cushion. Very
playing
impressive.
safe now. Just getting his yellow off the rail, putting Gillespie under a bit of pressure. But he's left him the red into the centre, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like it.
He meant to bring the yellow back across there.
That's clumsy if he's left this, because this is a real chance.
Bit of drama now, because Gillespie's right under pressure here. We're going to see. He's going to have his metal tested.
What's he got here? Is he? Yeah, he's past the yellow, isn't he? He's got the one to top right, I think. Declan looking at the table, looking for some kind
15
of
seconds of shot coming up now as well on top.
But he can get past the yellow, so he's got a really tough red now.
Has to take it on. Thin cut down the rail.
These are horrible. Horrible.
Wow.
I'm surprised that went, but
I am.
He put side on the cue ball that transferred onto the object board. You could see when it hit that far knuckle, the side took and took it into the pocket. Wow. What a turnaround. One just slightly clumsy safety shot from Declan Brennan, and it's again turned this match on its head.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got to say hats off to Declan for even making a game of this. But he will feel a little bit hard done by there.
Well, all the damage was done early doors from Declan, and Scott Gillespie. Scott was in sublime form, and he's done well to hold himself together.
If you look at the back end, the front end of the match, if Declan, the couple of mistakes he made, if he takes those chances, then we're probably sat here at 5 each or 6 each, and it's a different game.
Well, this for the match for Scott Gillespie and a place in the quarterfinals. In it goes, and the man from Scotland looks up to the sky, shakes hands with Declan Brennan. He is victorious, beating the man from Northern Ireland by 7 frames to 5.